So we have a new case for our discussion today. I have my reading on this reconstitution case and lost land title case. Okay. So for this case, this started before the regional trial court. This case reached the Supreme Court because before the regional trial court there was an order. The regional trial court issued an order to reconstitute certain transfer certificate of title number 12345. Okay, let's not mind the number of the title. After the regional trial court issued an order granting the reconstitution of transfer certificate of title number 12345, this was elevated before the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals reversed the order of the regional trial court. So you will be wondering, who raised this before the Court of Appeals? Why was this case elevated before the Court of Appeals? And you would also wonder why it was reversed by the Court of Appeals. Why the order of the regional trial court was reversed before the Court of Appeals. Okay, so there was an order or a decision granting the reconstitution of title before the regional trial court. Then when it reached the Court of Appeals, it was reversed. So what is the reason behind that? The Court of Appeals issued an order, and this order reversing the decision of the regional trial court, this was elevated to the Supreme Court. Okay, so the Court of Appeals order or decision was questioned before the Supreme Court. What is their basis for saying that the Court of Appeals decision is wrong? Okay, so we will know that later on. So how was this elevated to the Supreme Court? If you have listened to my videos, there are different remedies to bring a case before the Supreme Court. In this decision, in this case, the remedy used to bring the case before the Supreme Court from the Court of Appeals was Rule 45, appeal by certiorari to the Supreme Court. And what is Rule 45? Okay, so just a brief description. This is the remedy where, in case a party, okay, desires to appeal by certiorari from a judgment or final order or resolution of the Court of Appeals, Sandigan Bayan, Regional Trial Court, or other courts. Okay, I'm reading the codal provision. Whenever authorized by law, may file with the Supreme Court. How do you do that? You file with the Supreme Court a verified petition for review on certiorari. Okay, so at least you know the keywords in case you have your own lawyer and you will be talking about an appeal to the Supreme Court. So you are familiar with the keywords or the terms. Under Rule 45, what do you mean? What is the limitation of Rule 45 as a remedy? The petition shall only raise questions of law, which must be distinctly set forth. So this is required under Rule 45. No questions of fact. No questions of fact normally refers to issues where there are two or more conflicting versions of a story. Which is true, which is not true. No, that is a question of fact. Question of law, based on the, let's say, established facts or agreed set of facts. What should be the correct law? And if that law is already identified, how should that be interpreted or applied based on a set of facts? So basically, that is my take, no, on how to define a question of law or distinguish it from a question of fact. So question of fact, it's like every time there is an incident, most of the time that incident will have two or more versions, no? Two or more different stories describing the same incident. So the duty of the court in resolving a question of fact is to find out which version of the story or which points, no, which story is really the truth. So that is a question of fact. If that is the problem in the Court of Appeals decision, then you do not go to the Supreme Court by way of Rule 45, because as a rule, this petition for review on certiorari under Rule 45 shall raise only questions of law, not questions of fact. Okay. So again, this case is about a lost original owner's duplicate copy, and also the loss of the copy before the or kept at the register of deeds. Okay, so that is the original copy of the register of deeds. So that is the reconstitution of title case. And for the owner's copy, if it's lost, it is the petition for the issuance of a petition for the issuance of a new original owner's duplicate copy to replace the lost original owner's duplicate copy of the land title. So this reconstitution of title case focuses on the lost copy at the register of deeds. So this is our case. In this case, this was destroyed by fire, no? Nasunog in Bisaya. So I will see you in the next video, and let's see what happened in this case. It's very interesting. So stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.